I take it there was no burning or anything like that. And do you know if you're going to get some instant relief over?
She said 24 to 48 hours before you will get the relief. In actual fact, it might get a little bit worse for the next 24 to 48 hours. So she said, keep taking your pain pills, and then you can leave off them, and then you should be okay. So with a bit of, I took my watch off. She said, oh, you can leave your watch on. And I thought to myself, it's up in the gigahertz range, that X-ray. And, if you put a watch in a microwave oven, you're going to blow it to bits. I'm talking about electronic. So why would I wear a smartwatch and having radiation around it? It would make sense with all the steam MOS chips and everything. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, this is where you wouldn't need one of your old, the old clunky mechanical watches would have been just fine for this one. But the wiring inside those chips is so fine that certainly radiation could just blow it into blazes. Anyway, just about time for things to start, I think. We'll stand by and see what's going on. Congratulations that you made things work and that you're back home and feeling good. VE3 HIX.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. And go ahead, Laird, if you are there. If not, I'll take over.
Okay, very good. Well, good evening, gentlemen. Yeah, I was a bit slow getting going here. I was having a problem getting the YouTube feed running, so it took me a couple of extra minutes. So it's up and running now, and I see Darren's on there, and Steve and Joe. So we might as well start taking check-ins. Let me just make sure my keyboard's on the right spot. And so I already have VA3 RTV and VE3 HIX in the log. Anybody else wishing to check in? This is Laird VE3 LKS.
VE3 CRU. VE3 IRB.
Victor Echo 3 Papa Whiskey Juliet.
VA3 DCE.
Victor 3 Alpha Golf.
Victor Alpha 3 Tango Papa Sierra.
Okay, I have VA3 RTV, Jeffrey, VE3 HIX Bob, VE3 CRU Bill, VE3 IRB Robert, VE3 PWJ Peter, VA3 DCE Doug, VA3 AG Aldo, VA3 TPS Steve. Anybody else wishing to check in at this time?
Victor Echo 3, Victor Golf Juliet.
VE3 IGX.
Okay, I also acknowledge VE3 VGJ Joe and VE3 IGX Cam. And with that, folks, I don't have anything to discuss tonight. I'm clear out of ideas, so I'm relying on the peanut gallery to come up with something. So let's see. We'll go back up to the top to Jeffrey, and maybe he can pull a rabbit out of the hat for us.
VA3 WBZ.
Okay, we acknowledge VA3 WBZ, and back up to Jeffrey.
Yes, thank you, Laird, and good evening to everybody. And I actually came up with an idea, and I passed it along to Robert, and he thought it was a good idea. So what about the topic for this evening as to what is the difference between a radio amateur and someone that isn't a radio amateur, someone that hasn't got their license? And so I was thinking of the qualities in that person. Patience, of course, is one, and just generally, what makes someone interested in that hobby versus someone that isn't. And we just thought that could bring up a few very interesting things. So with that, what do you think, Laird?
It sounds good, Jeffrey, and we are an interesting bunch. So take it away, and you can have the first kick at the cat.
very much. Well, one of the things that I think is most important that I've learned is it's not that I'm any smarter than anyone else. It's just that I stay with the problem longer, and I have to be very, very patient. I have been known to work on a problem, and it just gets to me, and I will not let it go until I've got it. So people that know me know that that's what I do. So I'll save all the rest for the next round.
Okay, very good. All the rest. I like that. Perfect. VE3HIX, Bob.
Good evening, Laird, and good evening, everyone. Ham radio used to be, I hope it still is, but it used to be a technical hobby, and it appealed more to technical people than to non-technical people. These days, I think we seem to have more operators than technicians. As the world has changed, there are fewer and fewer electronic stores. There are fewer and fewer places where you can actually pick up bits and pieces and make a ham radio out of it, the way everybody did back when we were kids. So things have changed there, but I think it really is for the technically curious people, or people with an insatiable appetite of curiosity, who just want to figure out how some things work. Over.
Yeah, that's a good observation, and yeah, and radio is usually just one of the things that they're interested in. I take a look at the guys in our club and in our group here, and they have that curiosity in that, but it's not only just on a radio and electronics; it's on a wide spectrum of items. So it's not just limited to one narrow area, as some hobbies would be, I guess. VE3 CRU Bill.
Okay, VE3 LKS and crowd gathered here. I'm going to, for this round, bypass the topic that you have chosen and bring up something for the weekend, because the sooner it is announced, the more time people have to think about it. I had mentioned before that there's a VHF, UHF, and above contest on the June AWL contest on this weekend. Now, it's an excellent opportunity to see how many stations you can hear and how many you can work. So my challenge for the weekend, not for tonight, is that people from 2 o'clock on Saturday until 11 o'clock Sunday evening try to see how many stations they can hear and work on simplex frequencies, primarily on, like I say, 144 and 432 giving you twice as many points as 2 meters. So pick up those little handy-talkies, and they say, put them to good use. You'll get twice as many points, even if you're talking to somebody a kilometer away. Back to that.
Okay, very good. VE3 IRB Robert.
Well, I think what makes us unique is sociability. We all like to talk. Even back in the technical times that Bob referred to, anybody could do that alone, but it's the ham people or people that came together to do it. So I think it's what actually speaks to how we evolve over time. It's the sociability that keeps us together, and some more technical than others, but that would be my thought. And I've got another meeting at 7:30, so I'll say 73s for now, because I probably won't be around for a second round. Back to you.
Are you having to give out another stock of rhubarb, Bob?
No, it's the Genealogical Society. They're talking about DNA tonight, so be on that on Zoom.
Perfect. Sounds like fun. Well, enjoy your meeting over there, and yes, on DNA. That's quite a complex topic right there. Let's see who's next on the list. VE3PWJ, Peter.
Good evening, Laird, and all the good folks. Tonight sounds like you got a good crew starting there. And I guess how I sort of really got interested with radio was broadcast and DXing, and I still like doing it, especially in the car. But I find these new radios in these new cars do not have what the ones were in the older cars. I know I had my old Nola had a great AM radio, but far better. Like the radio that's in this Maz is really not that great a radio for DXing. It's kind of a poor outfit all the way around. But that's pretty how I got interested in it. And it's a great hobby. You meet a lot of great people on it, that's for sure. So go ahead, get some more beans there, Laird, and we'll talk to you the next time around.
Very good. We'll get the rumbly and the tumbly going with all the gas we're getting here, Peter. And let's see. I think I'm going to have to agree with Robert. I think it's, for me anyways, it's the social aspect of it. I mean, I think a bit of everything that's been said so far is what sets us apart from other hobbies. But I think the social aspect of it too, like you can walk through a parking lot in Chattanooga, Tennessee, see an American call sign, and you wait around for a couple of minutes till the guy comes out, and you start up a conversation, and it's like you've been friends all your life. There's I think it's because you've got a common hobby to begin with, but I think there's a lot of common traits between amateurs as well. No, that's not 100% true all the time, but I think for the most part it is, and that's what appeals to me. Now, that wasn't what got me into the hobby, but it sure is appealing after the fact. And I've met a lot of nice people just because I had a call sign on my plate, and either they stopped and wanted to check me out, or vice versa. So it's I like the social aspect. VA3 DCE, Doug.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody else on frequency. I've had several ideas of listening here. Listening to Jeffrey for a while, and he said it's not that we're smart people. There goes your sweater that you wear, Laird, about something about amateur radio being a smart people hobby. So that lets that out. I was listening to Bob, and Bob says interest in technical things and getting into problems and all the rest of it. I used to be more involved like that, but I find that as the years go by, I've become less and less able to handle all the technical stuff. So I have to rely on other people a lot to do more than that. Anyway, I got into this hobby, I think I heard of the North Shore Amateur Radio Club and its food. And the food was a big draw. Back to you, Laird.
Very good. Well, you have to know what frequency to use to heat it up with. So, there is some technicality about this. And very good, Doug. Well, you know what? If that's what it takes to get people interested in the hobby and to keep their interest and what sets us aside from others, well, so be it. And, as I say, it's something different for everybody. Let's see, VA3AG. What do you feel that sets us aside from everybody else?
You don't really want me to give you my opinion. Anyway, people think that we're nuts sitting around talking to people on the radio. Why do it that way when you can do it on your phone? Why? You can do it on Skype. Why? Because it's fun. But we don't all think the same. Anyway, I picked up an SBB 2 meter 70 centimeter short antenna for my vehicle. So looks like I will be taking my handheld with me and using it once in a while. So I'll have that unit in the car, playing with it a little bit. Anyway,
I had a comment for V3CRU there. I detect a little bit of a tone in the background. I don't know. Bill, you may be over deviating a little bit. You might want to check that. Anyway, over to you there, Laird, VA3AG.
Very good, Aldo. And yeah, I'd be curious to hear what you're going to say. Maybe sometime when we can get together for coffee. Let's see. I see Scotty's checking in online on YouTube. He's babysitting his mom again tonight, so he's coming in on YouTube. That's excellent. Glad to have you with us, Scott. And what does he say? Barbecue North Shore style. Okay, very good. Well, I guess it was the food that got Scott over to us. And let's see. I think I also mentioned, but Darren NMD is also online from Montreal, I'm assuming, tonight. So welcome, Darren. And yeah, if you guys want to make comments about what you think makes us unique from other hobbies, by all means, put them on there, and I'll read them once in a while. Let's see, who's next? VA3 TPS Steve. And I've got some bids going on your antenna.
I'm sorry, I missed that last part, Laird. Go say that again.
I have some bids starting on your antenna, so I'll probably end the auction this Friday at noon.
Okay, very good. Well, good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency. That's good news. To help make up for the AMFET there for the club. Well, kind of a slow day up here. Didn't do too much. That's a loaded question, Larry. I can give you a lot of answers, and a lot of what Bob says is right, but I'll give you my wife's answer. We're a bunch of people that want to sit in a room, talk a lot. We have all these radios where we can only talk on one at a time. She doesn't understand why we need so many. Back to you.
Yes. Wives are like that. And it's always interesting. I know people at work question me sometimes, especially if we're riding somewhere for lunch and they see my radio in there, and they said, "Well, can't you just do that on the phone?" I said, "Well, you probably could." I said, "But good luck when all the communications go down. Like when we have an ice storm and everything's belly up, even your telephone." How can you make contact with anybody? What if the power on the grid goes down? Your cell phone's not going to last too long. I said I can run for days or months if I had to, probably. And so it's always interesting. And yep, they make fun of us, but what the heck? They also come running to us when they need help. VE3 IGX, Cam, take it away.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on frequency. Just hang on a sec. Okay, my shredder wants to play in tune with me. When I really first got into amateur radio, I was working with a guy, and I was looking for something to study at nights, and Scarborough Amateur Radio Club was putting on a course, so I took it then, and I was just mostly CW, which I enjoyed, then got out of it for so long that and got back into it, and this time I joined the club, and like Bob said about being a technician, you have to explain to the wife why you need that new piece of equipment when you got so much already on the shelves. And so with that, I'll give it on. And joining the club, so many avenues to go, and whichever one you take, there's somebody in the club that's familiar with it and able to give a helping hand. So we'll give it on back to you, VE3LKS, VE3IGX.
Yes, You're right there. And no, Joe, I didn't miss you. I did that on purpose to see if you would start complaining online. And I could read you like a book. Anyways, yes, Cam, and I like the part about buying radios. It reminds me of that. I think I put the cartoon in the newsletter there a couple of months ago about the surgeon over top of, or the doctor over top of the patient who's in a comatose state. And he just says to the wife, he says, I will pay you whatever your husband said he paid for the radios. And then all of a sudden his eyes pop wide open. Let's see, Joe, VE3VGJ.
Good evening, Laird, and everybody on the frequency. Yeah, having some fun there, eh? What makes us different from other ones? I don't know. The challenges of it, I guess. We look for different challenges, and amateur radio offers such a variety of challenges, both electrical, social, technical stuff. There's all sorts of stuff you can get into it that you can't know it all. And I kind of like Doug's comment there too, and it's food. Another reason is the food, at least in our club. And the other thing too, Darren is in Oshawa. On the little blurb there, he said he's in Oshawa right now, not Montreal. Anyway, back to you.
Oh, okay, very good. Well, Darren, what's your excuse? Get a radio on and get on the repeater. Let's see. Jackie's on YouTube, I see. She'll probably come in the next go around. Gary Zed says, Hams refused to give up. Impressive given the challenges of cell phone, which is all young people care about, and the ubiquitous internet, which hams are gradually folding into the hobby. Yes, it is interesting how some of these hobbies, technical, what's the word I want? Inventions, anyways, you know what I mean, do integrate and become one over time. Just like when we hear Mike coming in from Calgary, or Brian coming in from Kingston, they're coming in over the internet to the repeater, but then out on RF to us. So very interesting. And William, VA3WBZ, good evening.
Good evening, Laird, and all those on net. Well, I've had a very busy day being on the wrong end of a shovel. And believe me, it's very much on the wrong end of a shovel. That's 9 hours of that stupid stuff today, going pushing that around. Let me see what else. Oh, yeah. If you go and buy a shovel, or you have a Sabre shovel, and you like to use it, your go-to shovel for when you're doing digging and stuff like that. Well, I had the same thing there, and I lost it. So I went out to Home Depot yesterday, and I replaced it. And I found that today when I was using it, the darn thing has a flux end to it. I was saying, why can't we not get a good quality shovel today that isn't going to flex when you're digging down into it, so you push it into the dirt? Very irritating when that sort of thing happens. Because I've been working, I haven't had time to get to work on my radio again, but the paint, that's waiting for me to pick it up at Canadian Tire. I'm going to have to brush it on, though. I wanted to get an aerosol can, but they don't put it into an aerosol can. I think some places do, but I haven't found it. I don't think that Canadian Tire does that. Do you know of anyone who put paint into an aerosol can?
Oh, man. I don't know. That's a very good question. I know places that used to, but they're not around anymore. There used to be a little hardware store that did that. But that's the only place I know of, but they're long gone, unfortunately. We'll throw that out to the group, and on the second time around, if anybody knows of a place that will take paint and put it in an aerosol can for you, please let us know so that William can get busy on his painting. And with that, we are at the bottom of the list. Sorry to hear you're on the wrong end of the shovel there, Gary. William. And yeah, it's amazing. It's like anything else. They don't make things like they used to. Yeah, I used to have a shovel that you could have run over it with a truck and it wouldn't have bent. But as you say, you stand on these shovels and the blade starts to bend, and they're just not the same quality anymore. If anybody would like to join in the Rag Chew this evening, now's your opportunity. This is Laird VE3LKS.
I paid about $47 for that shovel last night too. That's the part that really irritates. I thought it was getting good quality, but I'll have to go to a different garden center, I guess, to see if they sell good ones down there. Some places sells sand and gravel. Okay, back to where was next on the net there.
E3KZT.
Okay, I acknowledge VE3KZT. John, anybody else wishing to check in? Okay, nothing heard. So, John, welcome to the RagNet tonight, the COVID-19 Rag Chew. And tonight we're talking, at least on the first round, was what do you think about our hobby makes us more unique than other hobbies? And has it, and we've discussed all sorts of things, everything from the social aspect to the fact that, we tend to keep at it until we figure out problems and stuff like that. So welcome tonight, John, and take it away.
Good evening, Laird, and all those on frequency. Well, I think my biggest thing is the camaraderie, and I enjoy sitting on here rag chewing to somebody in England, Ireland, Scotland, and Germany, so I can't do that on my cell phone on a regular basis. And spray paint in a can. I don't know if you can take the paint you got and get it in a can, but if you take the color you want and take it down to CarQuest on Bloor Street, Oshawa, they'll supply you with a spray can.
Oh, okay. So they mix up the paint and will put it like they'll give you the color that you need.
Yes, sir. And the only reason I know that is when I was doing my old 46 Willies, I had to take a color sample from the existing firewall to them, and they mixed it, and they got paint by the pint and the quart for the painter to do the bulk painting, but they also supplied me with spray-on spray can, the E3KZT.
Okay, so there you go, Bill. There's the first option. Now that's here in Oshawa, a place called CarQuest, but I think they're a chain, so you might want to look it up. I think there may be some there in Scarborough area for you.
Yeah, no, thanks for the idea there. You buy the paint from them, and they can mix it up, and from what you're saying, put it into spray paint, the spray can. That's what I'm looking for. I looked it up on go and have someone else do it, because what they're showing on YouTube is a tire valve and filling the paint can up using epoxy to go and stick the tire valve onto paint can that you go and drill a hole into. And then after you finish that, you go and pressurize it with an air pump or whatever to 95 psi. I think I'd rather get it done professionally. I think it's a little more safer. Thanks for the idea, but I'll go to CarQuest and see them.
Yeah, at least a phone call. That it may save you a lot of grief there. Very good. Well, with that, we will go right back up to the very top. As the friendly giant would say, look up, look way up. And we're back up to Jeffrey, VA3RTV. Take it away, Jeffrey.
Yeah, thanks, Ed. And I'm in the driveway because I knew my turn was coming around, because by the time I get in the house, I've got to, unload and turn everything on and that. So, in any case, a couple of things. Hams helping hams. Bill, Aldo had mentioned about your over-deviating, whatever you want to call it. Too blooming loud is really what the problem is. When you, in a nice way, when you come on, I have to crank my volume down to about half of what lead is. So, lead is about halfway, but when you come on, I've got to go almost down to very, very low. It's just too loud. So, Bill, may I make a suggestion? Why not go on the YouTube channel and listen, say, to this evening's one where you're on, and you'll be able to hear what we're saying, that you are just too loud. If you just quieten it down a bit, maybe even talk further away from the microphone or whatever, I think everybody would be able to understand a little clearer. And I don't mean this in a nice way, because we think the world of you, Bill, but it just hand helping hand. Now, and another quick thing, I'm just going to drop it for a sec. Yeah, another quick thing. What Bob Hix said about socialising. When I went out to see my parents in Victoria, I get a little bored. I walk around. I see this great big beam antenna. So I knock on the door of the house. Fella comes to the door. I get talking with him. He invites me for coffee for the radio club. One thing led to another. I keep in touch with him for quite a few years, and I did not know until I'd known him for at least 2 years that he was the commanding officer at Campex. So with that, back to you, Led.
Get out. That is such a cool story. Stuff like this we need to write down, because these things are going to be lost to history, and they really are cool stories. So why don't you write that down, email it to me, and we'll put it in the newsletter. And that way, at least it'll be online, and people will be able to get a interesting little tidbit out of that. VE3HIX, Bob.
Yeah, hi again. I was just thinking that some of us are tinkerers and some of us are socializers. So it seems, just thinking back on the people that I've known over the many, many years in ham radio. And of course, some of us are, DXers and operators and so on. But the nice thing is that we all help each other. The people who are the DXers, I hear them breaking in saying that 20 meters is open to South America or something like this. The tinkerers, they help people repair things, or they take yesterday's junk and turn it into something useful for today's purposes. And the socializers are there with the food. 3 times a year that we know of here. So the fact that we all get along and can help each other out, I think, is the most important thing for ham radio for this group. Anyway, back to you, Laird. VE3HIX.
Yeah, I think if I could sum up what you're saying there, Bob, is in our group, everyone, if you come across a problem that you yourself can't solve, that you know a guy. and that's the one nice thing too, is not only in our group but in ham radio in general, there's a lot of guys out there that are more than willing to lend a helping hand, and it doesn't even have to be ham radio related. I know a lot of guys that have helped other people out with medical issues, with helping them load stuff in their vehicles, or pick stuff up at the lumber yard. And, it's just, it's good that way. Bill, VE3CRU.
Okay, VE3CRU here, first for VA3RTV. My apologies, sir, for over-deviating. What the problem is here, and I'm running, I'm sure I'm really with power here. Let me boost it up just a little bit. The problem here is that the majority of my contacts on this equipment are not on repeaters. So that I'm usually running 100 watts into the 4-element beam. So you forget, you keep pounding away at the same power, and as they say, then when you get onto the repeater, you start to have problems that people with sharp ears notice. So thanks for mentioning that, Jeffrey. You're very right. I'm overdriving everything, and as far as Laird's comments and issues tonight, my problem with some of Laird's somewhat simplistic topics is that it all into a few words for a rag chew. That is my biggest challenge, as I say, because you can I can go into the equipment and it's used from Smart Gap days forward. I knew VE3SI, who was a very heavy transatlantic Smart Gap operator on commercial vessels, and as I say, I can take it from there. From the social aspect, which Larry points out too, spotting people with your hand plates or what have you there, that applies in many areas. Like for myself, okay, I'm a Shriner, I'm a Mason. And as I say, it's very easy to spot us, not by looking at the license plate in most cases, but by looking at other means of identification on the vehicle. And the same thing goes. You're a brother wherever you go. And so, as I say, that's the joy of being involved in a common denominator hobby or fraternity, is that you can socialize with so many and so many places and feel most welcome. So, as I say, I can talk a lot, as you well know, but back to that.
Okay, very good, Bill. I think we caught most of that. I think we only lost with the last second. And yes, yeah, I've noticed the little symbols on the back of cars for the Shriners and the Masons. And as you say, that's just like the equivalent of a VE3 LKS license plate. It identifies you immediately. VE3 IR. Well, I'm going to give Bob a shout. VE3 IRB. I know he said he was going to a meeting, but just in case. No, I guess Bob's off on his Zoom meeting. VE3PWJ, Peter.
Okay, again, what we did today, Laird, we were up fairly early and went over to that place that you know quite well in the corner of Ritson and Adelaide there, and we picked up some water softener salt, and Diane, the dog, and we took a little tour down to Newcastle, and we dropped the salt off at Barney's place. So I had a nice little visit with Barney and Nancy out to the front lawn there today. And boy, he is one interesting person, Barney. You can talk to him for hours. So that was our do for the day there. So we'll say 7-3 from here. Yeah, we got a great neck going, and if you can get some more beans, go ahead and do so. Over to you there.
Yeah, if I can stay awake. You were talking, I let out a big yawn. It wasn't you, Peter. Let's see. Just going to catch you up on some stuff on YouTube. Oh, my friend Larry, KJ7JFV from Anacortes, Washington, is tuning in via YouTube. Good evening, Larry. And, Anacort. Yeah, but is it Anna Cortez or Anacort? Larry, we're just having to get on the phone sometime and chat about this, because what you're typing and what I'm saying, I'm sure, is two different things. Yeah, he's in the northwest coast of Washington State, and I can't wait for you to get your radio going, and we can hook you up and get that thing programmed, and hopefully you get an all-star repeater in your area, and we can get you talking on our rag chew here back in Oshawa, which you're very familiar with. Larry actually lived in Oshawa for a while, so he's familiar with the area. Let's see, VA3 DCE Doug.
Again, Larry, thank you very much. One thing that I thought of, and that is that I've been involved in many of these public service events where you're out in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes you're out for 8 to 10 hours at a time, and you're the only person there, and you're responsible for communication. So it's back to the Boy Scout days. You learn to be prepared. You are everything you need for yourself, but you also have enough stuff that you can help anybody else that needs help, and that's important too. And while I'm here, I'm not sure, but I didn't hear you call Steve or Joe or anybody in that area on this time through the list. Did you miss a group there, or did I doze off? Back to you, Laird.
Oh man, the guys online were taking shots at me, and now you're suggesting that I'm missing people. No, I got Steve and I got Joe the first time around. We are only on our second time around, And you can go have a little nap again, Doug, and we'll send you a text or phone you on your cell when if we do a third round. Hi. Let's see. VA3AG Aldo.
Okay, Laird, while you carry on and go ahead, call the rest of the people in, I'm just working on my boom microphone here, my high boom microphone that I'm getting ready for when I pick up my PR781. I'm looking to get one for my Kenwood here, so I'm just installing the boom there, the high boom, the PL2T it is, and what else? Nothing else. I'm trying to find a location for the boom here, see where it's most convenient. Anyway, over to you, and I'm sure I'll be getting the din call. I'll be listening. V3LKS, VA3AG.
Okay, very good, Aldo. And have you invented some sort of a laser device that you can beam a signal through the wall and zap that plasma TV next door to you?
It would be nice. You know, I got on the Sandbox net, and the plasma TV was on, and but 3733 is only an S9, so you know it's livable. 3755, 20 over 9. So you know, yeah, I would love to have some kind of a device that I can shoot through the wall here and just burn the heck out of that TV. Well, I'm hoping that one day it gives up.
Well, you'll know what, we'll get Jeffrey and Bob on that and see what they can come up with for you, and see if they can get you some sort of relief. Anyways, maybe we'll have to go over there sometime. You may have to bite the bullet and buy the guy a new TV, and we'll show up like Publishers Clearinghouse and say, hey, you've won a new TV. The only thing you have to do is give us your old plasma one, if you have one, and let him haul it out and then take it away. But yeah, it's you know what? If you've got as good a luck as I do, that thing will last 20 years. Yeah. Anyways, VA3 TPS. Steve, take it away.
Okay, Laird. Well, very good. Well, I know one thing about this group is that thin-skinned people need not apply. That's for sure. But no, the thing about this hobby is it's so diverse with so many people with knowledge in different parts of it. That's what I like about it. The fact that hams helping hams all the time, doing stuff with each other. Some people like to tinker with antennas, like I do, and other people are more into the really technical stuff. Some people just like to get on the air. It's diverse. Most people can't figure out why we do it, but it's just an addicting type of thing. Once you get into it, it's a lot of fun. Anyways, I'll be listening to the end, guys. Great night again there, Larry. Great job. I'll be listening to the end. VA3 TPS here in rainy Federal Falls.
Oh, and a quick question before you go. Did you guys get your boat in this past weekend?
Yeah, in the middle of a contest, my son came to me and said my boat won't start, and we had a problem with one of his breakers for his panel on his control, his ignition panel and all his accessories. So I had to jury rig that and order a new one, and he's got it in, and it's not tied up on my dock. You're using my neighbor's boat lift right now, and he'll be back up on the weekend to play with it.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, I hope he gets it all fixed up for you pretty soon so that you can at least enjoy it while, he's not around. Hi. Let's see. just so I don't get Joe's knickers in the knot this time, I will take him in proper order. VE3 VGJ. GJ.
You didn't get my knickers in a knot. I just thought you're getting old and forgetful. That's all.
Well, I am. I am.
Anyway, not much else on the second round here, and I like the comment Steve made about having thick skin, being a member of this club, and having some of our association friends here. Yeah, I do have to have a bit of a thick skin, but that's always just getting to know somebody, and you know what, a drop of a coin there, that they'll be there to help you. Other than that, not much else to report on from this end here, and we'll say 7-3 for you there, Laird, and good job. I appreciate you doing the Ragnet every night.
Yeah, no problem, Joe. And yeah, you have to be thick-skinned, but the good thing is the pointed barbs, they're all in good fun, so we don't have to worry too much about guys really taking it seriously. And yeah, I've enjoyed doing this so far. I may be calling on a few people to maybe fill in once in a while once the weather starts getting nicer, but up until this point, it's been not too bad, and it makes for an enjoyable evening too. You know, sometimes, to be honest with you, sometimes you know, at 6:30 I'm just dragging, and it's like, do I really want to do this tonight? But you know, about 6:45 you get set up, and you know, 5 to 7 you're on the YouTube station, and you know, guys are chatting already, and then by the time you pick up your microphone, you're feeling totally 180 degrees different. So the magic of radio. VE3 IGX, Cam.
Okay, not too much more on this end. I just did a little bit of code copying and code practicing this morning. Other than that, I did a whole lot of nothing for the afternoon. So with that, I'll say 73s to everybody online, and I'll be listening to the end. B3LKS, B3IGX.
Yeah, I like that. A whole lot of nothing. Well, if you didn't have time to do it all, I'm sure you can work on finishing some of that whole lot of nothing off tomorrow there, Cam. Oh, when Cam said he was going, I guess he meant he was going. Let's see. VA3 WBZ William. Oh, and I wanted to mention that I see Alex AMP is online. He's been running the roads, and so I'm assuming he's sitting at home right now and feed up on the lazy boy, and he's probably too tuckered to even turn the All-Star on his telephone and get in here. So but we'll say hi to Alex, and hope everything's going well for you, and glad to hear that you're busy. A lot of people aren't right now. Let's see. VA3 WBZ, William.
Yeah, Laird, you know, we're wondering about what had got us in the hobby, you know, that someone mentioned a few minutes ago that people ask about why don't you use the cell phone in that. Well, I've been asked that a few times. I just tell them that telephone is what we've used all our lives to communicate with other people. So it's a lot of fun being able to pick up a microphone and talk to someone that's on the other side of the world, the other side of the city through a repeater system on HF or whatever. And the fact that we had to study to get this as well, it's a little feather in our cap, as far as I'm concerned anyway. And he also mentioned a lot of people just like to go and get on the radio and talk. Well, I'm one of those people. I don't play too much with antennas, and I certainly don't play around with the radio and stuff and that inside. I let people who know electronics do that stuff. I have a tough time with electronics. It's not like an engine or something like this here. I can work with a gas engine or something like this mechanical I can work with, but electronics has always baffled me. So it's I leave that stuff up to the people who enjoy doing that sort of thing. But it's just the fact of being able to pick up a microphone and talk to other people through a different medium. other than something that we've used all our lives. I think that's where the fun is for me, anyway. So that's about it for me, Laird. I don't know if I'll be here for the next go-around or not. I'll probably be calling it quits. So if I don't get back on the next go-around, I'll be staying 7th Street for now. Back to you, Laird.
Very good, William. Yeah, I think we're going to probably just stop at 2 rounds tonight anyways. It'll be a bit early, but 2 rounds, I think that's good for tonight. And the only problem with you is I believe you're way over in Scarborough. We need to get you moved a bit closer to us so that you can come out and enjoy more of our events a lot easier. And, we do have real estate agents in our group, and we got lots of guys with strong backs and weak minds, so we could help you move too. But very good, William. Always a pleasure having you on with us. And I hope you are able to get that paint done down at CarQuest. And if not, maybe they can at least reference you onto someplace that might be able to. And with that, VE3KZT. Are you still with us, John? Oh, VE3KZT. Are you still with us, John? Okay, nothing heard. I will take another call for check-in. So if anybody is wanting to join in on the COVID-19 Rag Chew, Week 12, Tuesday night edition, now's your opportunity. This is Laird, VE3LKS.
VA3 BTQ.
Okay, very good. I acknowledge VA3 BTQ Jackie in the comment. We'll go with Jackie first. And good evening, Jackie. And how's my dog? And how's your horses doing today?
Hi, Laird. The dog is doing fine. I think he's glad that he lost all that hair, maybe like you. And the horses are doing fine. And I just wanted to add that I am so pleased that I am a member of your club. It has opened my mind and my heart, I guess, to what ham radios are really all about. And I love the opportunity to be able to learn as I have been doing. Thank you. Over.
Very good, Jackie. Yes, it is always fun to learn. And some of these guys in our club, they keep, I wouldn't say pressuring us to learn, but giving us opportunities to learn. You get guys like Bob and Jeffrey, and they're always coming up with neat stuff. Farney, whenever he's out to meetings, he's always interesting. He brings stuff up from long ago, and right up to present day technology, and it's amazing. But I do have to correct you on something. It's not my club; it's our club. We're all equal participants, and it's everyone. It takes everybody in our club to make it. So, and you're a valuable asset too, Jackie. It's a pleasure having you, and I would still like to get more info. Since you lived at Camp X, it would be really cool to have a lot of info for newsletters. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And let's see. Bill had a comment. So, Bill, take it away.
Okay, I got a couple of them. First of all, Victor Alpha 3, Tango Papa Sierra. Listen up, Steve. Laird thinks he's going to get away from his equipment for a break at some time. Steve, I want to commission you to demonstrate your proficiency in the use of handcuffs by handcuffing Laird to his equipment and not letting him get away. I'm sure you can do well with it there. And I mentioned about my Spark Gap friend there. He had for equipment, when I met him there, he had a small Gonset mobile tube mobile receiver for a receiver. And it looked so awkward alongside of his beautiful Valiant 3 VFO controlled transmitter. 275 watts. So it was a dream piece of equipment at that time. So what I did, I got my new FX111 receiver back around, I don't know, 1964, 65 there from Electrosonic. And I took it up there, unknown to him there, and plugged it onto the desk there, and told him I wanted him to warm it up for 6 months. He was blown away. He was totally ecstatic, because until then, he did not have a single sideband piece of receiving equipment. So they say, if you want to surprise people, give them something they don't have and let them play with it before you play with it. Back to that.
Okay, very good. And I'm going to see if John's back with us, VE3KZT, to see if he has any final comments.
We're back. I got called away. Sorry, I missed the call. Larry. I have nothing more to add, though, but we'll hang in here till the end. VE3KZT.
Okay, very good, John. We were just going to get ready to rally the troops and send a party over to your place to make sure everything was okay. But glad you checked back in there. And before we shut down the net, are there any further comments, questions, suggestions? If anybody has suggestions as to what we can have for topics in upcoming evenings, by all means, let me know on tonight, or send me an email, and we'll be glad to fit those in wherever possible. So for now, any comments or questions, please come now.
Comment?
Go ahead, comment.
The 3KZT, next Zoom meeting to teach this old duck how to use the logging program, the 3KZT.
Very good point. It probably won't be this weekend. It'll probably be the next weekend. Field Day, I think, is at the end of the month. And so I think we're still ironing out some few questions with regards to how this is all going to shake down as far as the event goes. If I understand correctly, everyone will just keep track of their own log. We can use the logging software, but apparently when you submit it, you can submit it with sort of some sort of a comment that this is also for the North Shore Amateur Radio Club. So not only will you get points for what you do, but the points that you accumulate will get added to a group total for the North Shore. So, but we'll once we figure that all out, we'll probably do that. So it probably won't be this Sunday, but probably the following Sunday. And now that we've got the Zoom product that can handle up to 100 users and everything, well, everybody can join in. Even Larry, way out there in Anacortes, I'm probably saying it wrong, could join us if you wanted to have some fun. And yes, we can go through the software there. I hope that answers your question, John.
That's good, because I need to figure out how to use it, or how to well, I need to figure out how to use it properly anyway. V3KZT.
Well, Joe was showing it to me a bit on the weekend. We were practicing with the Zoom and experimenting with it to iron out a few bugs. And he was showing me the software, and it was so easy, even I could learn it, John. There's a few little setup steps, but any of us could help you go through that. And once you get it going, it's just a matter of making sure you're on the right band, and you just put the guy's call sign in, his identifier. Like if you're at home working your own station, I think on hydropower, you're 1D, so he may be 3 alpha, meaning it's a club station and they're working off grid power, like not with grid power. So you would put the call sign 3 alpha, and then the location identifier, like TN for Tennessee, for instance, and that's it. It'll keep track of all your duplicates and everything else. So it should be a lot of fun.
Okay, well, I'm figuring if I get this power up, thought by then I'll be on solar power here in the backyard, so I could do that. But I need to find out which version of the software do I need to download for the logging.
Yes, we have access as a club to software, and so we will be sending that out to those who are going to be working field day, and with instructions on how to install it. It's ready for the Zoom meeting.
Sure, sounds good. 7-3 and good night.
Very good, John, and nice to have you on with us. Oh, Gary Zed just made a great comment. He says, quote from a ham that he follows. It's an opportunity to meet some interesting people with an IQ above a bean dip. Uh-oh. Let me see. Who is it? Peter always tells me to get another bean. I think he's referring to me, so I may be the bean dip. So you guys obviously have a lot better IQs than I do. Hi. Any more questions or comments before we turn the net off for the evening? Okay, nothing heard. So I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening, and the fellows on YouTube, and hope to see you or hear you tomorrow night. Won't see you. You'll see me maybe if you're on YouTube, if you're really that desperate. And looking forward to chatting all again tomorrow night. And Scotty, if you're still on YouTube there, do you need a milkshake brought to you since you're house confined tonight? Anyways, if you do, just put a little message in there quickly before I shut down the YouTube station. Anyways, gentlemen, have a great evening. It's been fun, and I'll talk to you later. This is Laird VE3LKS, and I'll be clear.